Good morning, fellow traders. Bob Light here. It's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Wednesday, August the 19th, 2020. I hope everybody had a great night last night. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see where we left off the market yesterday on the SPX. So monthly chart green, right? We finished up a few points yesterday, which was pretty good. Hit all-time highs at the upper Bollinger Band. Weekly chart, again, still kind of a compressed range here so far this week, but we have a few trading days left. We have Fed minutes today, which is usually a non-event, but sometimes we do get a little bit of a move off of it. Open gap below here on the weekly chart, so retro, just keep that in the back burner there. So we'll see how that goes. Daily chart. Little hammer yesterday, right? We closed at all-time highs, and we hit an all-time high. We closed at its all-time closing highs. We have a rising ADMA right here, and we're above the upward trend line on the SPX. So pretty decent stuff there. It was a super duper low volume day for the most part, and then some came into towards the close right there to get over yesterday's low volume day. I'm not saying it was a big volume day; it was still really low. And of course, this whole move up here has been on this this declining volume, but it is what it is, right? It's been still working its way up. So we'll see when they decide to when the sellers decide to really step up and maybe push back and start to fill some of these gaps below. But it did its job, right? So it's so funny how there's some people that say like, "Well, this is not a V reversal." I mean, okay. Anyway, so good stuff there. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're behaving here this morning and what we might be looking at today. So still a lot of chop, right? It's been a real grindy action, right? We had a big channel from yesterday. We talked about this yesterday before the open, right? So we've just been kind of just following this channel here. One little glitch yesterday at the open, but they brought it back into the channel range. We tagged the bottom of it this morning, which is pretty impressive, and bounced right off of that. So let's see how that holds going in today, as the S&P futures still have to hit their all-time highs. So we'll see if that happens here intraday, right? So MES again, nearly identical. So let's just take this right here and put a fresh geometric line on there and see how that holds throughout the day today. Let's take a look at the Qs. So a little bit grindy here this morning, kind of groggy here. It's like, okay, more all-time highs. All right, here we go. What do we have to do now, right? So anyway, it's chopping around here. So let's see how it behaves this morning and what type of action it gets. So the IWM had some relative weakness yesterday. A big down move here. It's trying to gap up a little bit this morning, but it's still in this major congestion zone from yesterday. So let's just kind of take a look and see how it looks on the daily chart. It was looking like a bull flag here. It was, trying to get perky out of it, but right now it's kind of coming back in that range. It is holding the ADMA, but at this point here, let's just kind of see how it holds. It might come back and retest this pivot level right here on the 153.50 area. So we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at Apple. So Apple was an inside day yesterday. Definitely want to keep on the radar here today to see if it has some relative strength. If it's already kind of tagging these all-time highs here this morning, so let's see if it gets any more momentum to continue to push on Apple, as it also is gearing up with Tesla for a stock split. So a lot of folks are still just buying it up, right? Because on the stock split, apparently it's bullish, right? So it is what it is. But there is some expectation too that after the stock split, that once these stocks become quote unquote cheaper, right, they'll just rally off of that as well. So just kind of an interesting mentality on that one. So Tesla though, right? So we had a double doji day right there that worked its way up. Today was another doji. So we'll see it as a doji sandwich up today. It is gapping up a little bit here pre-market, but we'll see how that goes going into today. Over all-time highs, right? 1939 is the next level, and then if it really wants to push, maybe 2000, as Elon Musk becomes the fourth richest person in the world. So let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon gapping up this morning. We really liked Amazon yesterday. It finally made a move out of an actual range or out of a geometric line right here with increased volume. So let's see if it gets any follow through the upside. So far, so good this morning. One that I typically don't trade anymore is Google, but it is starting to perk up a little bit here. So keep an eye on this one. It did have some increased volume. It did get out of a couple of these levels here today. So let's see if that tries to work its way up here going forward. Let's take a look at Adobe. So Adobe, Microsoft was strong yesterday. Let's see if it brought the software sector up a little bit. I like how Adobe had some nice increasing volume right here and getting out of this triangle range. So let's see if that can get any follow through on that one. Also keep an eye on Nvidia today. Sometimes these earnings movers has earnings tonight. Sometimes they get some a nice prop up before earnings, so for one last leg of the earnings run. But just keep an eye on the premium on that one. Sometimes it might be better to sell premium and take advantage of the move. Lowe's had earnings this morning. It's not getting over any major levels right here. I mean, at least from the other day, right? So basically over 164.50 here could be interesting for Lowe's this morning if it wants to try to do a gap and go. And then Target had a big move here this morning. Let's see how it's so far holding up pretty well. If you go here on the daily chart, there should be a yeah. Anyway, we're up at the oh, it's way up here. There's your gap right here. So let's see if it can get and stay above the pre-market levels, and if Target can give a gap and go today. So anyway, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the lunchtime market update. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.